talk about your success.
Say, Mr. Pratt, have you heard from my uncle today?
No, Bud. Well, Twimble, your shoes are going to be hard to fill, but who have you picked to fill them?
Well, I've been giving it a lot of thought, pro and con, and I think your man is young fish.
Congratulations!
I'm going out for
Thanks, but I can't accept.
What? Are you turning this job down?
That's right, sir. I think there's a man who's better qualified. A man who's been here longer than I. Gentlemen, I recommend Bud Frump.
Bud Frump!
Well, this is something, surprise-wise, as long as he feels that way.
I'm going to call my mother.
I don't understand. Mr. Twimble, let me explain. Knowing you has taught me a lot.
Hello? Oh, yes, JB, this is Brad.
It's the big boss.
Oh, I understand your problem, JB. Yes, we have picked someone else for the job. But it's all right, JB. The young fellow we picked turned the job over to Bud. He thinks Bud is better qualified. No, he doesn't seem to be out of his mind. He was explaining about it when you called him. Go ahead, Finch.
Mr. Twimble, the great thing you have taught me is that no individual is as important as the whole company.
He says no individual is as important as the whole company.
The whole team is greater than any single player.
The whole team is greater than any single player.
The whole crew is greater than any one oarsman.
The whole crew is greater than any one oarsman.
The whole salad is bigger than any piece of lettuce.
The whole salad.
The whole omelet is bigger than any egg.
Isn't that great, JB? Sort of chokes you up, doesn't it? His name? It's Finch.
F-I-N-C-H.
F-I-N-C-H. Yeah, well, I'm going to keep an eye on him myself. Ha! Right, JB. See you later. Finch, you got me off the spot with Mr. Bigley.
Glad to help, Mr.
I
Brown.
appreciate it. Good luck, Twimble.
Oh, Mr. Twimble, don't I have to take this mail to Mr. Gatch? Gatch? Gatch.
Say, I just remembered. Mr. Gatch is looking for a junior executive in his department.
He is?
I'm going to speak to him about you.
Me, a junior executive?
Your generosity and thoughtfulness may prove to have been a really good thing.
By George, ethical behavior always pays.
Finch, you did a very wise thing.
That doesn't matter to me, Mr. Pratt. I did what was right.
My mother was very happy.
Boys and girls, meet the new head of the mailroom, Bud Frump.
Thanks, my young man.
Good luck, Bud.
Come on, Finch, I want to talk to you.
You know, he sure amazes me. I'm still wondering why he did this for me. So am I. I still think my original choice of man was best.
Now, wait a minute, Twimble.
Oh,
no,
okay,
it's just
that,
that,
Oh, we'll have no reneging. I was promised.
Now, hold on here, Bud.
I've been around here a long time. 25 years, a quarter of a century. I just want to make sure things are done the right way. Oh, I know what you mean, Mr. Twimble. From now on, I'll play it the company way. Wherever the company puts me, there I'll stay. Whatever the company tells me, that will do. Whatever my uncle may think, I think so too. With company pride, I've conquered that overambitious rat inside. Oh, Bud is no longer the frump he used to be. I pledge to the company, speak and form my team. Hooray! Hooray! I will someday earn my medal. 25-year employee. I'll see to it that the medal is the only thing they ever pin on me. The front way is the company way. Executive policy is by him, okay. I'll never be president, but there's one thing clear. As long as my uncle can stand me, I will still be here. I've been inviting you all to have lunch on me.
Girls, I have another announcement. Mr. Gatch is taking young Fincher into his department as a junior executive.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Just a minute ago, that lunch was nuts.
Auntie, that's wonderful. I told you to have patience.
You were right, Rosemary. Thanks.
You should have someone around all the time to help you think things out.
Maybe I should.
Auntie, I'm always available.
You're sure wonderful, Rosemary. One of these days, I hope I can show my appreciation and...
Lunch.
Huh? launching the executive club me?
Sure, now that you're junior executive, I can put you in my expense account.
It's a great honor, Mr. Gatch. I'll get my coat.
I'll meet you in the elevator. Ah, Rosemary dear, seeing you always brightens my day.
Oh, please, Mr. Gash.
I have got to stop reading Playboy.
Rosemary, I've got a surprise for you. Mr. Gatch is taking me to lunch.
Lunch.
Yep. How do I look?
You look fine, Monty. Just fine. Have a good time.
Thanks, Rosemary. Goodbye.
If you have followed the simple instructions exactly as outlined, you should by now be a junior executive. Congratulations, nothing can stop you now.
Happy to keep his dinner warm till he comes
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. But damn it, Gertrude, I haven't got time for this nonsense about Bud. I know Bud is thicker than water, but Bud Frump is thicker than anything. I'll promote him when I'm ready. Now listen to me, Gertrude. The next time Bud complains to his mother and she calls you and you call me, you're all fired. Yes, Miss Jones.
There's a young lady who insists on speaking with you, Mr. B. She says it's personal.
Well, what does she want? What's her name?
She says, you'll know.
Oh, well, put her on. Put her on. Hello. Well, you knew I wouldn't forget. I'll take care of everything. One moment. Miss Jones, get me Brad and personnel right away. You be here tomorrow. Fine. Bye. Hello, Brat. JB. I'd like you to do me a favor. I wonder if you could find a spot for a young lady. Wants to be a secretary. She's an old friend of the family's. Her dad was a classmate of mine at Old Ivy. She's a bright girl. Got a good head on her shoulders. Her name? LaRue. Hetty LaRue.